Hello, hello, hello. This is Christian Midnight Thoughts, and this is where we explore the stories and experiences of those who make a difference in our communities. Today, our topic is going to be about psychedelics and mushrooms and their effects on people's brains and how they work. I have came up with a couple interview questions, and I'm going to be asking one of my really good friends, actually, what his opinions are. The reason I'm going to be asking him is because my friend is an EMT. He has experiences with people who have had like psychedelic breakdowns as an EMT, uh, people who are overdosing. He's told me many stories of this. And not only, but he also has done psychedelic mushrooms. And we're just going to be explaining today what he thinks and what his thoughts are about this subject. And I'm going to give him a little bit of insight about some sources as well. And we're going to just see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited to talk to him. Let's just get right into it. Welcome back to Christian's Midnight Thoughts, where we explore the stories and experiences of those who make a difference in our communities. Today, we have a very special guest joining us, someone who embodies the spirit of service and courage in the face of emergencies. Meet Chase Breckle, an experienced EMT with experience in the psychedelic world.
Hey, what's up? I'm here. My name's Chase. So I appreciate you shouting out that I was a prior EMT. And the reason why I want to make that known is because I had to deal with many patients that were quite literally tripping.
Oh man, that must have been a pain in the ass.
So I have had many patients that would be tripping on multiple types of drugs. They could be psychedelics, even as crazy as bath salts,
Oh my god.
heroin. Man, we had so many people actually trip. Damn. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure like a good 60% of my patients were on
Oh,
some type of sedative, something.
okay, so explain where you're from. So, like, why are there so many drug instances as an EMT? Why are you dealing with that?
Well, I'm from Olympia, Washington, and I decided to be an ENT here in the heart of Olympia. Horrible, horrible decision
Oh yeah, that explains
because
it.
Washington State is just full of homeless people. I feel like, especially in the capital and in Seattle, it just gets really crazy, and everybody's more of like a hippie down here too, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I've been there a couple times, and I can definitely say, oh man, the homeless people there. You quite literally see them tweak out on the streets.
yeah, we have something called the fent lean, you know.
The fentanyl. What is that?
It's usually when we be driving down in the ambulance, just doing our rounds, just driving around, right, waiting for a call. We'll see these people just leaning over against the wall or just like face all the way down to their shins, and they're just acting weird, and they have a weird like walk. At first, we didn't want to be like rude, of course, and be like, "Oh, that person's just messed up." No, that person was straight up just he was doing the fent lean. He, he,
Man.
he was going crazy.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good to know. You're the perfect person to talk to. I actually have a series of questions to ask you today about what you think about shrooms and their uses and the effects on people. I,
Shrooms.
yeah. So I'm
Oh,
gonna just start off with the
yeah,
first
yeah,
question I have here. Have
yeah.
you
Go
ever
for it.
heard of shrooms before? Is there a particular feeling you have or hold towards shrooms, negative or positive?
When I was younger, I used to think that shrooms were horrible. Horrible thing to do. I thought I would never try and do something like that. I never even thought I'd be smoking weed, but we're here now. High as a kite. So now, what I'm saying is, shrooms now, when I think about it, I think shrooms are a one way connection to Mother Earth.
Mother
And
Earth.
I fully support the usage of shrooms in moderation, but as long as you do it carefully, smart, and in the right environment with the right people.
You know, I
Shrooms can be
completely
very,
understand that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate it because like it can be so soul opening, and it's more of like it's just a life experience as itself.
Oh, that is a point. I actually have my own opinion on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Tell me, actually, I'm really curious.
Everyone in my mind has a form, has heard of a form of mushroom not to touch or eat. Like the
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
mushroom fly Garrick. It's the mushroom with the red cap and white dots.
Oh,
You
yeah, that
know
one
not to
looks.
eat that shit. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I mean, it looks. It's not Mario, you know.
I mean, my point is where I'm trying to get it is like it poses a threat. Humans have always tried to do things that are seen as wrong, like during
Wait, are those ones
prohibition.
actually poisonous, or like
Yeah,
do
they're
you will you get
poisonous.
high? Oh, you
Well,
can't get
they're
high. On 'em?
poisonous and you get high as well.
Oh,
That's
so
what I've
you'll
heard.
die getting high?
Well, you know what? That's a good Google question, honestly.
That's a
I
good
just
Google
know I've
question.
never ate it. All right.
Let's put it let's put it on let's put that question on the board. Let's put
Yeah.
that on the board. Put a tack in
But I mean, my point was throughout
it.
time, like prohibition in America, when alcohol was
Mm-hmm.
banned, underground facilities started distributing alcohol, right? They
Yeah, yeah,
even knew it was illegal to consume and sell.
yeah.
But
Of
why would
course,
people do it? Because everyone,
people want it.
yeah, they wanted
There's
the things Curtis
people that
said
will
are
pay.
wrong. Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with psychedelics. I feel like everyone has a facade that most magical mushrooms will have you go crazy. They will have you see demons and experience hell. Though,
Wow, I don't think
uh,
I've ever experienced that through my trips.
and I can say confidently it's actually not true. I think it depends on the person's state of mind and mental state at the moment of
I
taking or
would
ingesting.
100% would agree because I've met people that are so chill on shrooms, and then there's some people that just like genuinely like tweak off like the smallest things, like even weed.
Oh man, yeah, I have some experiences with that. Now, I mean, thanks. Actually, hearing your opinions actually helps me understand how you view this. But hopping into question two now, have
Yeah.
you ever tried them before? Are there any particular experiences you
Oh
hold or
my.
you have, such as memorable memories, positive
I
or
see.
negative experiences?
I see. So the very first time I tried shrooms, this is why I remember it so nicely. First time I tried shrooms was with one of my good friends. His name was Ryan Hansen. Okay. I just got out of the army, wanted to see some old friends. I was like, you know what? Since I'm out of the army, I'll just, I'll partake in some edibles that have, mushrooms in them. I don't even know what type of mushroom they were. But at first, I was super nervous because I saw everything just looking like it was breathing.
Oh,
And
scary as shit.
it was a little frantic. I was a little scared at first. But then as I kind of eased into the night more and we made a fire, we stayed warm. When I looked at the stars, looked like it was a kaleidoscope. I remember that whole night how the flames were like dancing. It was creepy, kind of cool.
Did you
Like there
ever
was
get
times that I
scared?
felt unsettled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt very like I guess I didn't feel scared. I felt very unsettled because I'm like, wow, I know that isn't real, but it's like right in front of me and it looks really creepy and that is scary, but I know it isn't real. So it's like unsettling.
Okay. So I mean, I see where you're going with this. Like,
Yeah.
sh- I would. I mean, most people, I would say actually that I have mixed feelings about shrooms because they're good for some, and other cases they're not. I know that people with schizophrenic family trees are actually in
Hmm.
serious danger when they take shrooms because it can
Really?
activate that hereditary schizophrenia and give them
Oh.
terrible experiences. I actually have two friends I know. One of them named is Dax and Sean.
Hmm.
They have never tried shrooms because of their family hereditary trees being linked to schizophrenia. And they're scared if they do take it, they're going to experience something, scary. I mean, what do you have to say about this? Like, what do you think of
Well, it's coming from also a family that has schizophrenia. in their family,
Oh,
right?
I
Because
didn't.
that's
I
part of
never
mine.
knew that.
Yeah, I have it in mine as well. And at first I was scared with shrooms because I didn't think. I always thought like what the movies portrayed, like super crazy images, like super realistic, everything crazy. So at first I was like, I don't want to do that because I don't know. I never felt like I was in the right mindset or anything. So I just said, fuck it. I told myself, fuck it. I can only be my. I can like, what's that saying? I can be my own worst enemy or something. You're your own.
Yeah.
You're your own
I
worst enemy.
know what you're
So
saying.
yeah. So I just said, fuck it, and I tried it, and I don't think I've ever had a horrible experience yet
Yeah.
because I told myself I could only take them during a certain mindset. If I was calm, if I was relaxed. Like the worst part that I ever get from shrooms is just the stomach ache. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, I hear that from a lot of people.
Yeah, the
You
stomach
know,
ache sucks.
I've even experienced it because I've taken it back in my past, and my
Wow.
God, the stomach aches are just feel like ass. I mean,
Do you have any crazy like stories?
well, I have a couple, but I'm actually gonna get into those more deeper into this
Perfect. Oh, perfect.
conversation.
I'd love
Yeah.
to hear about it.
So I mean, I see what you have to say about that, but here I have a couple more questions coming actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I have one more basic question, and after that basic question, we're gonna have at least four questions by reputable sources. So these are like
Okay.
people like doctors or universities, and we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to debate what they have to say compared to our own experiences.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
basically, getting right into this question, do you think shrooms should be taken recreationally or medically? Explain your reasoning.
Mm. I think it could be recreational because,
Recreational? Really?
yeah, yes. The reason why is because it's basically already open to the public to the point where it would be so hard just to like gather all of that and try and force it to be medical when it shouldn't even matter because people can grow it in their backyard on accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just
So,
happens. Like I hear, I had a friend who used to actually grow them, and he would tell me
mm-hmm,
it would grow from like manure and like actual poo and like just
mm-hmm,
disgusting things, and that's how it would grow. It's actually
yeah,
crazy.
it's kind of like a lot of
Yeah,
farms.
and you can't stop that if it grows on its own, and it's accessible for everyone. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like so I don't feel like there's a real harm. As like I said, as long as it's done the right way, as long as it's like as long as you have a good trip sitter, I think you'll be okay.
Trip
100%.
sitter. Okay, so what is a trip sitter? If I'm
Like a
not me
trip
asking.
sitter, yeah, yeah. Like you just have a homeboy that you trust or a group of people that you like that you
Oh,
can trust
okay.
to be around.
So they will
Yeah,
be
and then they
like your
just watch you.
guide throughout the experience.
Exactly.
Okay,
They'll
I
do
see.
things to make the experience better, and they'll be there just in case if like bad shit happens. If you have a
Oh,
bad trip,
just if
but
something, you just get
hmm
freaked out and they'll be there to
exactly.
protect you. I see.
Yeah, because every bad trip I feel like is just on the
Well, if you
person's
think
own
about it,
mentality.
actually, you're kind of a trip sitter since you're an or you were an EMT, and
Yeah, yeah,
you would try to calm these people on drugs down. Like,
yeah. I'm like the ultimate like
yeah,
trip sitter.
exactly.
I'll throw a bottle of water at you and some popcorn. You'll be fine.
Here, take this. Boom, you're happy now.
You're happy now. Wish I could give you some morphine, but can't.
All right. Anyway, now getting into our reputable sources.
Of course, of course.
I've kind of gone over a couple sources, what they've said and what they've gone over. It seems like they actually have good things to say about some of them, and some of them are actually kind of negative.
Okay.
The first source I have found was written by Joshua Siegel, a faculty member at the Washington University of
I
Medicine,
don't.
St.
I don't know if I
Louis.
can trust him. His name is Siegel.
Siegel?
I don't know. So I just don't trust a guy named
You
Siegel.
know,
But continue.
I actually watched a documentary a couple of ago about Some crime boss's last name being Siegel in America.
Okay, yeah, Siegel's a pretty cool
Oh,
name.
Siegel was the guy who made Las Vegas, the hotel. He started Las Vegas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot his first name.
What?
Yes, yes, that's
That's
the guy.
cool.
I
That's
mean,
actually pretty cool. that's pretty fucking rad.
but my point was, uh, the University of Medicine in St. Louis
Mm-hmm.
on the regulatory review of are
Mm-hmm.
psychedelics safe enough for recreational use posted on April 17th, 2024. He
Okay.
mentioned that psilocybin,
Mm-hmm.
shrooms,
Yep.
if you didn't know, psilocybin is the actual chemical that
Of
makes you
course.
trip within shrooms, are the least addictive drugs out there compared to heroin,
Wow.
stimulants, and chemically other like it's actually even said in the article that coffee is more addictive than these shrooms. Now,
What?
yeah, it's actually crazy,
That's
right?
insane. That's actually crazy. That's really cool.
I learned that, or the question I was going to ask you is if shrooms are not addictive, why do you believe it's a banned substance in the world? For example, why should we
Hmm.
treat coffee any better than shrooms since it's chemically more addicting?
I guess it's the way society sees what it does to the person. Because if someone drinks a cup of coffee, they're just going to work. They're getting some caffeine boost, sure, but they may be more addicted to it because now psilocybin, I guess psilocybin is not as addictive as that. So honestly, I don't even. The only other it would just be that, like what happens when the person is ingesting shrooms.
Oh, I see what you're
So I
saying.
guess like you can't just give somebody shrooms and say, "Hey, let's go to work."
Oh yeah,
Like that person's
that
not
would
gonna be
not
able
work.
to,
Or
yeah,
just
probably wouldn't
imagine
be.
going to your like college class on that. Like
Yeah,
that would not
or
work either.
what if you were a pharmacist or something, or an EMT and you were tripping? Like,
Yeah, you would
like that would be
probably be
pretty bad.
impaired. It's
Yeah,
like it's just
that'd be
like
pretty
told me
bad.
don't ever go to work or do anything important on any type of drug, on alcohol, like even
Yeah, but yeah,
nicotine.
exactly. But then what about alcohol? If that's illegal and it can be more addictive than shrooms, and it's you're still not supposed to be drinking while working.
Yeah, and
Why
what's
is it
actually
any
crazy,
better?
why is it sold on the shelf?
Yeah,
Like,
why
why
is it
can't you
sold
have
so
it?
much more? It's because it's easy tax money, easy
Yeah,
money to be
exactly.
made from the
I had a
government.
theory before back then with some of my friends, and
Hmm.
we believe that this is kind of dipping into marijuana and other things, but we believe that the reason marijuana isn't fully legalized is
Hmm.
because it will have competition with alcohol and tobacco products instead. It'll be like
It
the
most
better
definitely will. Yeah.
choice. It'll be the better, decision to buy or get because alcohol and cigarettes have horrible repercussions, worse than marijuana.
Of course, yeah. I actually saw something recently saying that we're like the one generation, like the generation that ingests the least amount of alcohol, and we're less likely to be like addicted to alcohol and
Really, we're the
sex. Actually,
generation least.
yeah, like we're the generation that doesn't ingest as much alcohol because we're all more into weed. I feel like.
Oh, I see. Huh.
I feel like most of every person I know smokes weed or has,
Yeah, I mean it's getting definitely more popular nowadays. Like,
especially being in Washington State.
yeah,
Everybody.
Washington State. I live here in Texas, and oh
Mm.
man, you'll be
Is it
thrown
still
in
popular
prison.
there?
Nope. uh, I saw that recently. About Trump winning the presidential election. I saw that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was saying that drug dealers will actually get the death penalty now.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Wow.
that's not only like I don't know if that's state or countrywide. I don't know if that's state
Yeah, I
thing.
doubt it'd be like
It's probably, I guess, a few states. So I
maybe, yeah.
imagine Texas and Alabama and those like kind of southern kind of
Can you
hick.
imagine that, man? Selling like a fucking ounce, not or not even an ounce, like a gram of weed, and boom, dead.
That is
Hey,
horrible.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but just moving on with our conversation, I'm gonna bring up another source and another question.
Hmm.
I think I gained kind of what I wanted to talk to you about from that last
Hmm.
question. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Written by Kathleen Davis on the 31st of October 2023 from the Medical
Hmm.
News Today, she explained
Hmm.
that shrooms affect our brain's way of perceiving dangers, like
Wow.
disconnection from reality, impaired concentration, possible hallucinations, and feelings that our surroundings are not real. Why is it that you feel psilocybin or shrooms might have negative effects on some individuals? Is there a way we can influence how we feel on mushrooms?
Um. So I feel like for that person in particular, they probably had maybe the wrong mindset going in. That could be my only way because, or they had like our your friends Dax and Sean,
Hmm.
or in even me with the schizophrenia thing. How it could be in a factor because it's called drug induced schizophrenia. I had a patient that actually had that, and it all started when they had the same thing in their family tree. They did shrooms. They started doing drugs, and then they said they started becoming schizophrenic and seeing things.
Wow, really?
And yeah, and it could happen. It really could happen. So I feel like since she had so many negative things that it impaired her to the point where like obviously you're not going to be perfectly sober when you ingest any drug or any major like alcohol. You're not going to be 100% you will never be 100% sober, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I guess it's kind of like an unfair standpoint in my opinion, and because you can kind of change how you are feeling
Yeah,
in
it
that moment.
depends, I guess, on the person, like we were talking about
Yeah,
earlier. Um,
it depends all on the person.
but it's actually weird because, it does help people
It
with
helps a lot of people,
depression.
and it cannot help a lot of people. It could just
Yeah.
be something as a one-time thing. That's okay.
Hmm.
I really believe that. I think we can better influence it by having the right support group and the right time, right
Right support
place,
group. I see what you're saying.
right time, right place.
All right, well, thank you for your opinions on that. Moving on to
Yeah.
the last and final question, and then there's going to
Okay.
be. No, actually, there's two more questions, actually.
Okay.
But this is
Okay.
the last question I have.
From
Uh,
the credible source.
Credible sources, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Posted by the University of Hospitals Magic
Hmm.
Mushrooms, Psilocybin and Mental Health on May 15th, 2022. This article explains some benefits with the use of psilocybin shrooms, including
Mm.
therapy for depression. This goes back to our kind of previous conversation.
Hmm.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, PTSD. I have actually learned that shrooms are
Wow,
really
that's
good for PTSD individuals, or like so people in the army who've had experiences in Iraq or World War II veterans, and
that's really
anxiety.
crazy that you say that. I have a story, but continue speaking.
Okay, I'll finish this and you can go ahead and tell me. There was
Hmm.
actually a study conducted by John Hopkins Medicine, and they
Hmm.
found that taking psilocybin while doing talk therapy
Really?
significantly showed
Hmm.
improvement of clinical depression. This would make a
Wow.
long-lasting impression for the ones who did this kind of treatment for years after their treatments.
Wow.
Now, my question was, do you believe that psilocybin should be medically legalized? Why or not? Why not? Actually, go ahead and tell me what you were going to tell me before and then answer that question. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Because I can make them tie together pretty well. All right. Well, I'll just cut to it pretty quick, semi quick. Um, I remember when I needed to. It's really start off weird, off the wall. I had to get internet, and the dude that had to install my internet was a veteran that had severe PTSD.
Really?
He
Huh.
Yes, and him and I connected because we had the same job when he was in the army. So him and I were just talking, and we were talking about like just somehow we got into the conversation of just drugs, right? and he says that when he started shrooms, that it actually helped his PTSD, and he even so far to claim that it was 100% cured. He said he doesn't suffer from PTSD anymore because he just microdoses, and it helps him work through his trauma and experiences by like thinking it through in his head. And so I feel like, given the right circumstances, shrooms can be medically legalized. And I feel like, in a way, I would see it as a supportive way. Like it can be in a controlled manner.
Yeah,
You
like a
know,
controlled, area.
yeah, it's like just like Percocet or something.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I actually have my own opinion. Medically,
Hmm.
I'd say legalized, yes. The
Okay.
positives gained from shrooms, as we heard from this
Just
source, are
outweighs the
vast.
negative.
Yeah, they outweigh
This
the
is
negatives. It
yeah.
can benefit so insanely well. I feel like we should incorporate and pay attention to individuals with depression first, though. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand from my research I did that um, shrooms help people most with depression. And
Really.
yeah, that's from what I
Wow.
learned. So I would say if we were going to legalize medically, I feel like it should still be state dependent because
Really. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like
You don't think it should be legalized everywhere just
no,
yet,
no,
just to
just
see
not
how it
yet.
goes.
Maybe because we gotta, see how it
Experiment.
goes, experiment
Yeah.
first. We can't just say,
Fair.
oh,
We're
let's
all guinea
legalize
pigs
it.
anyway.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's, you know, states like Oregon and Washington State who have already decriminalized it and are using these treatments in their states.
Yeah, like you can get some of these shroom chocolates in some smoke shops, even here.
Whoa, really?
Kind yeah, kind of crazy.
Man,
I
that's
guess you just gotta find the right smoke shop.
well, I mean, that's all I had to talk about today, and I'm appreciative of your time and everything you had
Yeah,
to tell
yeah,
me.
no problem. Appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, this assignment is actually for college, and it's a podcast I have to do. And I actually think this assignment is one of the coolest things I've had to do yet.
Uh, I knew you just wanted me to be on a thing, but for it to be an assignment, I feel like that'd be a pretty cool assignment, to be honest.
Yeah,
Especially if it's somebody like
yeah.
and like, especially if it's like, I don't know, it just seems like a fun little creative project you can do. It'd be cool. I'd
Well,
see myself doing something like that if I could.
thank you for being here, and
Mm-hmm.
this
Of
is gonna
course. Thank you for
be
having me.
with Christian on the midnight talk show. I forgot. On the Midnight Thoughts with Christian, all right? Signing out.
All
Thank you for being with us.
right.